afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on our beautiful planet Earth. Yeah, I'm on my own. And the reasons for this is, as you know, our last video with Kerry speaking about her mum passing and everything. Well, she's still doing lots of things because of that. You all know if someone very, very close to you has passed over, there's things that you have to do just finalise things, tie up ends, and that's what she's doing just now. So she's really busy trying to do that and then get her own business back up and running. So we kind of had a wee conflab, and we decided that we're maybe going to start doing more videos every 2 weeks. So if there's a chance that Kerry can't come on, I'll come on myself as normal, and then we'll get Kerry on. So hopefully we're going to have Kerry back next week. So you're kind of going to get two together, if you understand. But we're going to try and go on to it every fortnight. So that's just a wee update for you, okay? Woo! So, yeah, when somebody passes, it is the hardest thing, especially when it's somebody really close. Especially close. And it's the same with animals as well, it doesn't matter who or what it is. It affects us all in different ways. And everybody's got to accept that. Some people can get on with it. And some people just can never get over it. But that's what makes us individual, And what's going on in our world just now, the world's changing. We're accepting things in different ways now. And I've noticed, since 2020, since we had the beginnings of the pandemic, how the world has totally changed. I had a friend here at the weekend. One of my best friends was here at the weekend, and we were talking about that. And she turned around and she said something that actually made me stop and think, and she was quite right. But she says to me, she says, Glad, she says, at least we're on the right side of leaving here. It kind of took me back a minute, but yeah, she is. She's right. And I know that's a sad thing to say, but the way the world is, and I mean the way our world is now, you think, I'm thinking about all my 6 grandchildren and their children. What's it going to be like for them in the future? And you've just got to, and I said to my pals, we really just have to take one day at a time. Things are changing so quickly. And how to live, how to feed your family. I never thought that this would happen. But saying that, I'm going to contradict myself here, all right? I'm warning you, I am going to contradict myself here. But I was told a long time ago, and I'm going back, and it was about 2010, 2011, so round about then, that we're all going to, our world's going to turn round, go backwards. And I was sitting here just before I started doing this. You'll notice I'm doing the stairs because the lighting up the stairs no good, and I broke a light, and the rest of it. Enough of carry on. But anyway, natural light in here, so it's much better. But I was sitting here thinking, setting up and everything, and I was thinking, this was predicted that we're going to go backwards. And there was a thing on the telly the other day that they were on about the refugees and everything that's moving, the big massive movement of people. Only people over the age of 80 will actually remember the last time, and that was World War II. And it got me really thinking. I thought, oh my goodness, we are going backwards. We're not actually going forward. We're actually going backwards. So it's like, did we learn? And I started questioning, have we learned? Yeah, well, obviously I wasn't here at that time, but was the lessons learned back then about what happened in World War II? Because it's like it's repeating itself. Okay, we're in a world war, but it's very similar. And it's got me thinking, what is it that people has to learn? To me, it's compassion, and love for each other, love for the humanity. But there's always somebody wants everything. And that's just greed, isn't it? You know, just pure, utter greed. You know, and hurting out the people, your own people. And technically it's murder. And that's the way I see it. But that's my personal view. But you know, all the hurt, all the sadness, it's just mind-blowing. Now every day, and where's my guide, my main guide, because I've got 5 of them. He's my main guide, and he's very strict on healing. And that is one of the biggest things that we do in our spiritual work, is the healing side. Now, during the pandemic, I was doing absent healing 3 times a day. I'm now back to doing 2 times a day. So it's like early afternoon, and then my last, because how I finish off my day is absent healing with one of my guides, who's an angel called Margaret, and she'll appear, and we sit and we give it all the energies, we focus on whatever is happening and that. But doing it the way I'm doing it, I'm covering the world at the same time, like say different time zones and things. I can see this going on to 3 times a day. But at the moment, Margaret keeps telling me, no, we're just twice at the moment, which I think is a good thing. We'll go on 3rd time a day, 3 times a day. I know that this is getting worse. But when I go into that, it's like a meditation, you could say I go into. But that state is that I'm ready to go and help give the healing. I feel it. It's been the empath part of me. You feel all the pain, the hurt. And you know, it's sad. It's so sad. But we give out the love and we give out the healing. So, you know, if each and every one of us just does that little bit, you know, you'd have to sit long in it, but if you can focus and just put out a wee bit of healing and love around this world, it'll get to where it's meant to go. And I do believe in that. But it's hurting so much people in many, many different ways. And I just can't, and I think what makes it worse is that we're so instant with the news. So you're literally seeing things as it happens. So again, in the 30s, in the 40s when World War II and even World War One, back then, you didn't hear the news, did you, until days later or when it was reported. So things were kind of happened before you heard about it. And I think the instant thing makes it more, I suppose, real. I don't know how to describe it. I just know when I get up in the morning and I sit down here with my coffee, I always put the news on. You know? And if I was done that, and I won't change it. I know that some of the news is a heap of rubbish and there's lies in it and everything. But I take what resonates with me. You know? And I believe not everybody in the world is liars. We have got some truth out there. It's finding the truth's the problem. But I listen and I watch and all the people that's coming on and talking about their experiences, you know, it just breaks my heart. Totally breaks my heart. You know, having to leave loved ones and buildings and, you know, you may never see them again and it's like you're walking away. And I just thought, oh my goodness. So anything I ask you, I never really ask a lot of people to do something for me, but you know, this time I'm going to. If you've got a spare wee minty in your day, could you just put out some love and light to the world? You know, we need everybody to join together and give the love, the light, the healing to the world. 2 years of the pandemic was bad enough. And we've just stepped out of that and into this. And where's it got to take us? I don't even understand that. I'm going to be honest with you. I have asked my guides. Oh, I've asked them. But spiritual law is coming into focus here. They can only tell us so much. You know? It was the same with the pandemic in 2019. I knew something was going to happen. We always knew. Again, it was back in the early 20s. This all came out. There was got to be a big thing, but this is 2 now. You know, I only felt it was going to be 1. But anyway, there's kind of 2 things going on just now. But for the world to revolve and to move on and to do what it's meant to do. But in the end of the day, we've got to move on with this. We've got to help in our own special ways. So please, as I say, if you have any time in the day, doesn't matter if it's morning, afternoon, evening, or just before you go to your bed. If you've just got that 5-10 minutes, set aside just to put out your energy, your love, your light, because your energy is positive. And to get a positive reaction around the world to stop what's going on. We've nothing to lose, we've only to gain to do this. And I do feel we all should get together in our own ways. But yeah, my guides, they in 2019, they kind of give me an idea that something big was going to happen in 2020, but wouldn't tell me what because they're not allowed to. And it was hard because I didn't realise what it was going to be. And when it did happen, I was gobsmacked. Like the majority of people, you know. But I settled. I thought, I've got to do my bit. Don't know what, but I'll keep myself and my family as safe as possible. And that was when Margaret Angel, my one of my guides, came through and we said, right, we've got to be doing healing 3 times a day, kind of thing. And I thought, okay, all right, well, we can do that because I'm not doing nothing else. As normal as in my garden. Oh, I'm back doing that again. Oh, my yin and yang looks beautiful. You'll get updates on that. I will get you. It's too windy the day. I was going to do this outside in the garden, in the spring garden, you know. But it's too windy, and I'm sorry about that. There's the train again. But it's just too windy. And so that's why I'm sitting here in the living room. But you know, whatever we do in our life, we should always think of others. And I think the majority of us do. It's just sad at what's happening in this world at the moment, you know, and you just feel for people, however they're grieving. You know, if they're grieving for the loss of their country, they're grieving for the loss of their friends and family, you know, grieving for losing their home. You know, and it takes a lot to get over things. And all that people that went through World War II that's still living today, I wonder what's going through their minds, seeing this happening again. But I thought it for them as well, because they must be thinking, here we go again. You know? But spring's in the air. Well, here in Scotland anyway. And as I said, at the weekend I've cleaned out my yin and yang and got my garden back up together again, because I'm determined to turn into a spiritual garden. I've been working on this a few years, but it all comes down to like cash flow and as normal and getting people to help me, because, you know, there's a lot of heavy work in it because I have a big garden. But I love it. Being back with nature. Being back, just feeling the ground. Feeling the winter's past. It's an absolutely wonderful feeling. So yeah, so I've got my yin and yang finished. So it's beautiful. Moving chuckies and you name it. And yeah, Button and Buster, they helped. Yes, Button and Buster was helping. They did their bit, and Button was very good at sitting on the weed, the black stuff, for keeping weeds not down. And she would sit on the end of it, so I cut it. So she was such a good soul. But you've got to do something to make yourself happy, even with everything that's going round about you, and what each and every one of you has gone through personally. Take a minute to smile, to do something that gives you a bit of hope, if you want to say. Because in the end of the day, that brings light. And we have to live in the light, not the dark. And that's something I try, even with the children on the school crossing. They say some things to me, and I try and explain things as best as I can. But they do give you joy. They do give you joy. And that is one of the things, is joy. More joy in the world, more light in the world. And the more light in the world, good things happen. And we've all got to go through the grieving process, no matter if it with somebody that's really, really close by you and whatever, or if it's somebody that's gone, it's very much in your thoughts, maybe you don't know them, or that we all go through a form of grieving. But also grief with light. Maybe that sounds a bit weird. But when people pass, I do grieve. But I also feel that the grieving part of me is that the spirit of that person is in the beautiful loving light. And it's us that's left in the dark, missing them. So if you can, step out of the dark and into the light and let it flow. Because remember, and this is what a lot of people didn't realise, when somebody passes over, they miss us as much as we miss them. They grieve for us as much as we grieve for them. It's a two-way thing. It's just two-way, And it's learning to understand that. The only difference is they see how we're coping. We maybe some people can't see how they're coping, but they see how we're coping, and sometimes that can make them worse or better. It all depends on how you're coping, But they know what you're going through. So always think of that. But in this moment in time, with spring just literally springing round the corner, bouncing. Use the energies, use the wonderful energies and pass them on. And I hope you all understand what I'm trying to tell you today. It's a time, our world is changing. We have to change with the world. And keep our conscious high. Keep our energies high, no low. Got to keep them high. High and bright. So we can get through things, so that we can move forward. Our highest conscious mind will keep us safe. And help others, no matter how little you do, help others. I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to send out so much love and light to all yous out there. To help whatever it is that yous want to do. A wee prayer every day doesn't harm anybody. Just think the good you're doing. So until the next time, from love in my heart to use all out there. God bless you all. Bye-bye the now.